What's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. This one's going to be about blessings, because who doesn't like a good old blessing? Um, I'm not sure if there's going to be much of a specific niche in terms of topic of blessing, but I'm going to see what comes through from spirit. Yeah, I don't think there's a huge introduction needed, so I'll get stuck into it. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Pick your lucky star, and I'll get stuck into pile number 1s. That looks almost a bit depressing, doesn't it? For a blessing. Oh man. So there's some kind of volcano erupting. Uh, okay, there's an energy of a volcano erupting. The only thing I could say is that if I was to redraw this, I would have maybe drawn this figure as a man who was a bit more muscular, had a little bit more of a muscular, yeah, like more muscly. I would show some more definition in this body because that's how that came through. Now I'm just trying to tie the energies together so it makes sense. At the bottom of this volcano, closer to your screen, is this figure. So it's like the volcano's in the backdrop. But I guess one could argue is like, is this figure the volcano itself? Is it coming from this figure? I'm just getting that energy now. Possibly. Um, I'm getting the kind of the feeling of like the blessing is bizarrely like surrendering to the chaos, and in that chaos you're gonna get a blessing. So I don't know. You could argue. I can understand this a little bit. Um, my channel, if you pause, there's thoughts which I put out, especially on my Instagram, which I know that are going to trigger people, and I know that they're not necessarily on the same page as the majority with some of the quotes that I put out there. but they're true to me. I'm not saying they're truth in general, but they're truths which I feel someone out there could benefit from. And so one could argue, like, if you pause, as gentle as it is, as calm as it is, there is this outpour, at least of emotions, true raw emotions, true raw spirituality, true raw opinions. One could argue it is a raw expression of the feminine aspect of my masculine energy, which is usually not doing that. So, in that kind of eruption is the gift. In the frustration is the gift. And Spirit was just given to me now. I don't know, the name Mark might mean something to you. That just came into my head. Mark, or possibly Michelle, Michaela, M name, not really Michael, more Mark, Marco, Marcella, Margella. Marseille. So these are just channels that were coming through. So with that eruption of energy, you also get an eruption of honesty. With the eruption of energy, you also get an eruption of honesty. When people are brought, it's like sometimes when you argue with someone, right? And before that argument, they're poking you, and you say something harsh in that moment, especially if you've got a lack of self-control. You may say something very harsh, but very honest too. Very honest, but without the buffer of communicating it in a way which is friendly. This is a little bit like what I think your blessing is. Whatever it is for you, it may be you expressing your inner masculine energy. It may be you expressing your inner child, because it's almost curled up like a fetus. It could be you expressing your inner femininity. It could be you expressing your inner shadow. There's something inner here which has been pent up, and in its eruption, you're going to speak that truth with great honesty. If that comes out in the form of art, if that comes out in the form of words, if that comes out in the form of poetry, design, ideas, creativity, etc. Insert the word. But I think that's your message, part one, so I'm going to leave it there. A beautiful one at that. If you enjoyed it, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Part twos. Okay. I don't know what's going on here, but these blessings have got these kind of dark undertones. To them today. Don't know why, but is what it is. So that is actually meant to be like a coffin, and this figure, although it's clearly a masculine to me, apply it to how it seems fit for you. Seems to be like almost like rising from the dead. But there was a few things that I'm going to kind of just highlight some of the details that were coming through, so you can use your own intuition and relate to the message how you see fit. Um, I noticed that this figure is slightly bigger. Like Spirit was saying to draw this slightly bigger, and I think it's because it was representing age as well as growth. So this, it was almost like to make this even more, what's it, morbid, I think is the word, or even more depressing. This would be like a child, then a teenager, then an adult, and this adult seems to be just, marginally bigger in size, and that felt purposeful. So that's why I'm making a point of it, just in case you miss it watching this. I'm also clearly getting the vibes here of like not just angel, these are wings and a halo, but earth angel. So, funnily enough, it's almost like if I was to put this into a analogy or an example, it would be like you actually grew into an earth angel. You weren't just born an earth angel. And I don't know why that's an important detail, pile number twos, but I don't know, because it's playing on that whole idea of like having a destined future or a destined path. I feel like this position that you've grown into actually, it could have gone many different ways. I'm almost tempted to say that you could have turned into an earth demon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of potentially could have gone that way, or like more specifically, like from the pain of that, you could have gone down before you kind of got to that point, that status that you're in now. So I don't know, I think Spirit's just making a clear point for that, because maybe some of you have been doubting this idea of free will and stuff. I know that I have. I'm always tackling that idea of is free will even free. So this is a beautiful confirmation for me too, because it seems so. I've never got a message so direct from Spirit that no, free will does exist. You could actually not degrade, but descend your higher path. You can descend. It's a very real thing. So I think Spirit is kind of giving you a reminder of that. But then also, your blessing is obviously, I feel like the word ranking is coming to my mind. Like, spiritually you've kind of ranked up into this kind of earth angel rank. And obviously, pole number two is if you're watching this, you don't have to, this reading is between you and me, it's private. Um, when I'm talking about stuff like earth angels and stuff, I know that there's people who are watching this who have a normal 9 to 5 job, and what do you take of this word, earth angel? It's not something that you have to wear on a logo on your chest. I'm an earth angel. You don't have to do that because it will probably just get you more negative attraction than probably positive, especially in this current day and age. But between you and me, a little bit like, what is it like? I'd hope to see that this space, this platform is a little bit like a modern day version of when a priest is in the confession room with the person. And I'm like the priest. I'm like, I'm like, I'm like the priest that you don't even have to like confess to. You go into the room and the priest, me being the priest, be like, I know you cheated on your husband, bitch. And you be like, you hadn't even said a word yet. And I'll be like, God forgives you, it's cool. And then you walk out of the confession room. Welcome to If You Pause. Oh shit. Oh god. Or like you could be like, you could be a dude and you're like, yeah, sorry, I was no, I'm just gonna leave that there because that was funny as fuck anyway. I'll just leave that there. But that's what like If You Pause is it's not just the confession obviously, but it's the that's beautiful because it kind of rhymes. It's not just the confession, but the expression. It's the expression of who you are, what you're going through, and I know that because I can feel it when I'm doing the drawings. It's like they're always so divinely timed. As I do more and more of these readings, I feel like I connect with more and more of you on kind of like a deeper level. There's a little bit more of a synchronization going on the more that I do the readings. And yeah, I just feel like there's an incredible divine timing element that goes on with these readings. So it's a private space, especially if you want it to be. And readings like this are just a reminder that it's kind of a safe space, right? It's a safe space where, whatever thoughts or processes that you're going through, you can come to some of these readings and just get something honest and raw, and then go amongst your business. Like I said, just like that confession room. But in this case, we are talking about a blessing here. So it's like, the equivalent would be, you go into the church and you're getting ready to pray, and before you even pray, like that priest to have put their hand on your shoulder and say, it's already yours, it's already coming to you, you've already done it, you've already made it. That would be the equivalent of this reading here, is that you've endured something, Power Twos, and you are upgraded. You may not have looked in the mirror yet. You may not realize that from the ugly duckling you are now the beautiful swan. But this is the moment of, me putting my hand on your shoulder, male or female, and saying, you're already that. You're already that earth angel. So congratulations on that, Paul. To what an awesome reading. Thank you for giving me the laughter, even though you weren't here to receive it with me. At least at this exact time you weren't. It was a pleasure to read for you today. So, as always, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. And I'll see you in the next reading. Take care. Pile threes. Pile threes. Sorry, my voice. Something about the weather was coming through. Quite a simplistic reading for you, pile threes. So yeah, the weather possibly, maybe more like the sun specifically. That's why I drew the sun above this door. So it's like you're entering a new doorway. Vibe words would be maybe you've connected with like the sun in a different way. I'm also getting, sorry for the drunk. The number 10 just came through. So vibe words would be connecting with the sun energy, sun rays, sunlight, sun particles, raw energy, father, yeah, father energy also, beaming down. Some other keywords would be obviously doorway, openings, new home, possibly new home, or like the new vibration of home. Could be a new understanding of inner home. I'm also getting here from spirit and some confirmation there from the tram bell, kind of pausing on the doorway, because it makes me think, like, so I'm getting this vision of a person before they enter into the home, they pause on the doorway, and it's almost to like pause and reflect. One could argue like this is like spiritual, like doorways have spiritual energies to them. But more importantly than that, it's like, it reminds me a little bit of like, in the movies when there's two partners, sorry, not two partners, there's a partner, there's a romantic relationship, and one of those partners gets onto the train, but before they go through onto the train, they pause in that doorway, maybe to look behind or to go, is this the right decision I'm making? There's that pause on the doorway. Does that make sense? Like, that's the moment that this is really tapping into. That pause before you go fully through. And if I'm honest, the energy doesn't really, apply this analogy to how it seems fit in your life, obviously. But to me, it wasn't so much of like regret. Sometimes in those movies there's an element of fear, Like, I'm not going to get onto this train and leave my partner behind, or I don't want to. I don't want to get on this train. I don't want to go to this place, or if I go through this door, there's no going back. It's not really so much that. It's more actually like, wow, it's finally here. It's that feeling. It's like before you actually walk into that room, it's like, oh my gosh, it's finally here. You know, it's that feeling that I'm kind of getting. And I don't know, I feel like I said, there's an element here of like the weather. So it could be that this location of that's giving you this feeling is just hot, or it's like a summer home or a holiday home. Or it could just be that this blessing has come through and you feel like it's very much connected to that sun energy, you know? Or like, or possibly even that summer energy, even though this won't be posted in summertime, it feels like it's connected to that moment of summer. So maybe this was a moment which is now paying dividends from something that you did in summer, possibly. So something you did in 2023, summertime, is now paying off now at the time of, when I choose to release this video. So that's your reading, pile 3. It's a beautiful one at that. If it did relate, if it did resonate, please do feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com, and I'll see you in the next reading. Take care.